Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel, RVIntoRetirement. I'm Jim.
And I'm Korin. And this is Gemma.
And today what we're going to do is catch you up on our journey. And one of our last posts was that we were homeless, and for about 6 weeks we were out of our RV for repairs. And we've finally made it 2 stops away from our final destination for the summer. Right now we're in 93 RV Park in Twin Falls, Idaho. And our journey has taken us from Nacogdoches, Texas. We've made several stops: Amarillo, Boulder, Rawlins, Wyoming, Lava Hot Springs, Idaho, and now Twin Falls. And then our next stop today is Mountain Home. And the reason we've been doing this is because it's been very difficult to get reservations.
Yeah, so this is not the way we like to travel. So I'm going to say that first off. We had to go where we could get reservations. We had to kind of take that trip, the route that could get us there. We're not unhappy with our route, except that we wanted to originally do this so we could avoid the summer heat. Again, we're from Phoenix area, and right now it's been over in the 115, 117 degrees, and that is why we wanted to avoid the heat. So this summer we haven't been able to avoid the heat because we had to go back to Texas to get our RV. Our RV has been in the heat, and the travel up here has been through some pretty hot areas. Not as hot as Phoenix, but pretty hot and humid. So we're finally in a place. This is actually pretty nice. It's dry here, so we're happy.
Yeah.
But moving every day is also another thing that we never planned on doing.
Yeah, we typically like to drive no more than 4.5 to 5 hours. And the first day that we left Nacogdoches, it was an 11-hour trip, and typically we would have stopped halfway in the middle, but it was hard to get a reservation. 2, we couldn't boondock or use harvest host because it was so hot that we needed to run our air conditioner, and didn't want to use the generator all night. That's not something I'm a fan of. So we drove 11 hours the first day, I think 7 hours the next day, and then we've slowed the pace down.
Yeah.
We've been very fortunate. If you know, it's extremely hard to get reservations anywhere, and we didn't know when our coach was coming out of service, so we were able to book these spots along the way. And some of them are shorter than others, some of them are longer distance than others, but it worked out, and hopefully by July 1st, we'll be at our final destination for the summer, which is McCall. And McCall's a pretty cool place to be in many, many ways. If you haven't heard of McCall, Idaho, you're missing something.
Yeah, you're sharing a secret though, so I don't know. Those people in Boise who love going to McCall for the weekends are not going to be happy. But the other thing that's been really challenging for me has been working on the road. So normally when we're stationary, it's a lot easier. I can, I have my setup and everything, but this has been very frustrating for me because I have meetings most days, and I have video meetings. A lot of the time it's video meeting. In fact, most of my meetings are video meetings, or I need connectivity, and we've had to check in, check out, figure out the drive. I had to time it around my meetings in some ways, because if we're packing up or I have to help, I spot them to get out of the spots to make sure that we're not going to hit anything. It just becomes another stressor, is adding in, well, I have a meeting at this time, so let's leave here so that way we'll get there, and then I can take my meeting, and then we can check in. And it's just been, it's not the way I want to travel. So I'm glad that we're almost at the summer destination, and we can just really relax. We'll be there for 3 months, and I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah, we have excellent internet service.
Yeah.
99% of the time, and I'll post a video up here about what we use. But when you're traveling in certain sections of Wyoming, it's mountainous, it's very rural, and so the reaching the towers while driving is a little challenging.
Yeah, so I can really talk more to that because I'm actually the one that's doing it. I will say that if it's flat enough, it seems like I don't have a problem, even if there's nothing around for miles and miles. I think it's because those signals are traveling, but it's when we're going through these mountains, like you have mountains on both sides, that's when I lose my connectivity. So a lot of what I do is if I'm working on a file, I'll take it and put it on my desktop and work on it that way. But I can't always do that, so I try that. But I actually am pretty impressed with the way I'm able to work. Sometimes I'm amazed. I'm like, I was able to actually save that file. I'm able to open that file. Wow, it's, and I look around and there's nothing, not even these little towns for miles and miles. We're in just this vast openness, which is very enjoyable when we're driving. But so the connectivity has been pretty good. I can't complain about it. It's just, again, it's mostly for me the timing of the meetings when we're traveling.
1 second. Yeah, we crossed the Continental Divide in the Rocky Mountains, and there's certain points when you're doing it that you're going through tunnels, you're going through these narrow passes with huge mountains on both sides of you, and we'll do a video on lava hot springs, and I show in that video exactly how tall the mountains are. I mean, literally, the road is the center, and there's 6,000-7,000 foot peaks on both sides of the road.
It's really beautiful. And so, when I don't have that connectivity, I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, I guess this means I have to just enjoy the ride. So that's what I end up doing.
But overall, we've been very fortunate, very lucky to get these last-minute reservations. Yeah. Every place that we've stayed has been very nice and hospitable, except for one place in Rawlings where we decided, even though we prepaid, not to even stay there because they were rude.
So we got it was like one of those things that really annoyed me. So I went in and we were there 2 hours earlier than check-in. So I said, is it possible to get into a site earlier? It was 2 hours. And they were like, oh, no. I said, well, we just traveled through Wyoming. I said, we've had a long day. Is it possible? No, I'm sorry. We haven't even done our checkouts yet. So I said, okay, I understand. So
they told us to go park at a restaurant down the road for 2 hours.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, they must be booked. They must have no spots to put us. I understand. Okay, so I was like, okay, all right. So I come back and I went out and I come back in. I go, do you know anywhere to go? And that's when they said, oh, well, you can go to a restaurant down the road or whatever. So I'm like, so I told Jim, I said, okay, so we have to come back. So we had to go out, and we're going through, in order to get out, we had to go through the park, and we go through the park and it's almost empty. So that's when I'm like, I looked at him and I go, I think I'm pretty pissed about this.
Even I understand check-in time, but it's 93 degrees. We have 4 dogs, and even charge us, prorate us
give us
half a day. But to tell you to go park down the road. So as we're driving down the road, we found right next door was a beautiful park.
It's actually nicer.
We'll do a campground review on that park. You'll find it in our review section.
They were like, oh yeah, we have a spot for you. We went to the next door. We were there. We never had to go to the restaurant or anything. We just went and we just got into our spot. So just the customer service at the other place was just horrendous. And I know there's a lot of stories out that this was bad, and we haven't really experienced that. Usually, most of the places we've stayed, they've been pretty nice. But I was just like, and at first I think it's me, like I'm thinking, but I'm like, I look at him, I go, I think I'm supposed to be pissed about this. This is kind of really ridiculous.
So we're here, and we'll update you. We'll do a couple of campground reviews to show you where we've been, and then in a couple of weeks we'll start sharing McCall with you. And if you don't know about it, you're gonna love to see this town. It's absolutely incredible for the summer. If you live anywhere that it's hot, this is a cool place in so many ways.
Yeah, anywhere in the mountains. Mountain towns are just our favorite.
Until then, we hope you enjoyed this video. We appreciate all our subscribers. If you are not a subscriber, please take a moment to like and subscribe.
Hey,
and hit that bell.
One other thing.
Yeah.
Before you say that, hey, and if you happen to see us in your travels, if you're at a campground where you see us, please come and say hello. We will hopefully, maybe we'll even say hello to you, because we meet people pretty much at every place we go. So we definitely want to meet people.
Absolutely. Until then, we hope to see you in our travels. Have a great journey.
All right, bye.
Bye, everybody.